And then the story Bremo say a year MPP journalist be a friend Ken Crunchy. In fact, there was a time Mamutia says a nanko person call parliament on the ticket of a year MPP. But the story Abramo say wako Supreme Court akwa say senior will not take Ghana mbra aseno. Just His Excellency John Dramani Mahama can go for a third term. And no hunti yema Mahama kwa nonko or MPP ni. Now, Mama Mwati says, "Nope. There is also another person. I see on also a teacher. I see on also a Supreme Court. I did the same thing. It's quite interesting. Said this particular time, and Crawfordia idea we echo Supreme Court no. Na Gabby Otchere Darko aba be kasa e was stories we so. Na me pese ye ni na ye kono ekoko read Gabby Otchere Darko nsem a work no, so that people will understand what he's saying. Apparently no. On things in Biase say omo a womo de asem we ba no ehe na free nsembe no mo person mo tre no and all that nti yenko kinkan and now first time wa ha subscribe click the notification bell ne so oya ne say latest news bi aba won sabe kan. This video is kindly sponsored by Corporate Logistica. Omo ye vehicle management company e wo Ghana ha. Ejuma omo ye very 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 simple. Mr. say o cargo vehicle kese anahua car kese na Mistress, all the more be sending back on why wouldn't the stress involved in that? At the end of the day, Cobra, Nancy will be a summer walk at me, or send a car be a witchy, and the can a crowd tongue, at the intia, can or the mad driver now, yes, I can nana, or chinny the bina quack or say, driver near sales, a sales nisi canana, or the sanso cocoya can into Nyashi wakanim. Me say fa can a bra, a year corporate logistica ho. On one casa, a bepe driver, Macano. On nankasa beye maintenance na waka ne ye no bema waketua 2 times in a month. Ti aba ne maintenance en fa ho ono abehwe aye 0598022033 one corporate logistica antwetwe nkomo oyo oba na onim se ne atwi ka asakesie ya corporate logistica is there for you. Now Gabby Otchere Darko nsemo kan o say let me get this straight about the case before the Supreme Court seeking an interpretation that when the Constitution says a president shall serve only 2 terms of office, it really means only 2 consecutive terms. It's Oshe Ken Crunchy in Semwa wode by MPP lawyer, MPP journalist no. Oshe in Semwa wode by na. Asemwa na waka and say constitution no eka 2 terms are. What constitution is meaning 2 consecutive terms. Mahama de no enye consecutive. Ena Gabby Otchere Darko nsemo kan no opeso tin sem na siye. Is that what people are saying? Say constitution is 2 terms are. No ye pese ye tre say just 2 consecutive and answer the. Oye no ka say if that argument succeeds, then the current president after completing this 2nd term could contest again in 2028. If he changes his expressed mind and so chooses. It was say argument ya nkrofo ye ye peneso dia na trese Mahama obesan so akote term in 2028. Osi sana adwen dia na trese obeko. Osi if he loses, he could return in 2032. If he wins in 2032, he could contest again in 2036 because according to this theory, he still would not have served 2 consecutive terms. If he then loses in 2036, why stop there? He could run again in 2040. And if he wins, he could still seek another term in 2044 because only then would he have completed 2 back-to-back terms. And listen, I'm not going to lie. Gabby Otchere Darko nsemo ka nyansa home. Makai on say emra me reaction to Ken Crunchy de no. Me make a statement me say I don't want to be prejudicial. But what I actually wanted to say is me feel say Ken Crunchy case ni ebeboegu. The entire me feel say ebeboegu no. Yes, our reason we are Gabby Otchere Darko Emma. Na me trust here. Say court epenesoma Gabby Otchere Darko epenesoma Ken Crunchy. Say indeed constitution is 2 terms into no. A trace 2 consecutive into Mahama 2 terms na wakono. Enye consecutive into on Samson kwa. You see, it will cause a lot of harm. Now, the reason why I'm saying it will cause a lot of harm, it means that obi betumi aba betena so as president obe kosa obe wie no na wakobe 20 years unim ne ntia de obe ye ne say obe ko first term ati ase okọ first term 4 years ni wi a na second term maybe I will lose olusu anache say afi oba or sanso wa chance obeko 8 years biom because mostly 2 consecutive into 8 years no be share that 4 na bia wa drop it no amo before fraba into ba kono na yan hweli ya o political party bi be share that mom chale it's another Gabby Otchere Darko kan o say ye kan say dia na che say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama best stand for a year 2028 na so call for 2028 na bia wo lose a no about 2032 no win ya no call the next 4 years 2036 no lose a na che so be sanso to me about in 2040 we win na 2044 o lose a or ba biom 2044 lose or ba biom 2048 oba 2048 a okwa 20 ade ni baba ko unkwa ade you understand in the same work no because in other words under this interpretation the constitution's 2-term limit magically resets every time a president loses a re-election attempt. That is not interpreting the constitution, it is rewriting it. Listen, you know me, I don't usually agree with Gabby Otchere Darko, but on this case, I agree with him. You know, I agree with him. Because, you see, it will be absurd. It will create chaos in this country. And what will happen is that politicians will take advantage of that. Like, tyrant politicians, power-hungry politicians will take advantage of that. Also, the Constitution says, a president shall not hold office for more than 2 terms. It does not say 2 consecutive terms. Had the framers intended that qualification, they knew exactly how to say so. They didn't. Asking the Supreme Court to read into the Constitution a word its framer deliberately omitted is not constitutional interpretation. It is constitutional amendment by judicial decree. If that becomes the law, then a constitution will no longer impose a lifetime 2-term limit on the presidency. It will merely prohibit a president from serving more than 2 terms in a row. An entirely different proposition. Seriously, is that really the constitutional doctrine they want the Supreme Court to endorse? I'm not going to lie. Senya Mekano, I agree with Gabby Otchere Darko. And I know, say, case I'm not being prejudicial. I hope this is not for contempt, but I will be very surprised if the Supreme Court upholds a year Ken Crunchy in the case we are what they call. I'll be extremely surprised. But let's see what goes on. Ghana ni bia wutie me no book we eye asset ba ko a e wo se wo keep e wo fie to book we ma wo ho to ma oba to ma obi biara osombo e wo wabrabo mu wadanfo obi a opese odi ye wabrabo mu bia no to sa book we your friend the Ghanaian investor na sa book we be show different forms of investment a obetumi aye e wo Ghana ha licensed investments. The first one e ya de bia your friend emergency fund. Book we bet show send you set up emergency fund. Abrabo aye boy bibia betumi ato. If you have an emergency fund, ebeba na ba be save you. Oka betumi asay wo kwan so. Obetumi ayare, oba betumi ayare, nini na emergency fund no ebe take control of all those situations. Book no be sanso atre wa de bia ye fe endowment fund. A obetumi dia protect wo ho any future. Na sa endowment fund no nyame mpengu Okokonya accident na untumi nye ejuma bioma, it will take care of you for the rest of your life. Book no besan so atrel senya obe set up a personal pension fund. Enkrofo bebre eye ejuma wie ekọ retirement omukọ retirement we no mo ho aba betwe mo. O set up a personal pension fund. That will not be your case. Most importantly, book we betrel how to invest in the Ghana Stock Exchange. Now Ghana Stock Exchange investment, basically, it means you are buying ownership of Ghanaian companies. Now Ghana Stock Exchange, it is one of the best performing markets in the whole world. A lot of people are making money from the Ghana Stock Exchange, but they don't know how to invest in it. Bukui a better idea. Your investment be why a friend mutual fund. Bukui better how to invest in a mutual fund. Now mutual fund, you don't need to be rich to invest in a mutual fund. I remember an example. You find say wa ba fresh. Now what per license mutual fund e wo Ghana ha say opese odi usikashim. say to me invest 500 cedis every single month ewo a Ghanaian mutual fund moi. By the time I will be 19 years no now I done millionaire. Yan fan say oh wa CB we did 10 ope say that chibi odi every month for 500 cedis a mutual fund boom emano. By the time I will bano and our fast no obedi 29 years no na oye millionaire. One kasa wotie me we di 40 now so sha unye investment bia and no one say obey mutual fund every month for 500 cedis a shame. By the time obedi 59 years no now when you 1 million Ghana cedis into mutual fund no that is how it works. Small money every single month. By the time embre ebebano nesikano ayekese book we better sanya mani na sa ope book no ni PDF anase ni twi video free anase WhatsApp number na ewo book ni so sisia na sa we Ghana ni na wa brochure now pay hard copy of the book a very simple call Amazon na search for the Ghanaian investor place order bibia obi a be ship e dia bro medase.